welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sharifa and today we're going to be doing a Q&A. I'm so sorry about all the noise in the background. I'm in New York City and it's really loud outside. I had to leave my window open just a little bit or else I would melt away. It's so hot. So I got a lot of questions about social media and YouTube, you know, how to get a channel, how to grow your following, things like that. So I'm actually gonna split this up into two parts in the same video. I won't do like two videos, but yeah. So oh man, I scrolled all the way to the top and then it just went back. I'm gonna get straight into it. So Dania asks, do you sometimes have mixed feelings about social media, i.e. that it's superficial and shallow? How do you deal with it? Try to keep it real. I'm not trying to fake anything, and if you follow me for a while, you know I'm very, very honest about the struggles I have, and I make it a mission to make sure that nobody thinks my life is perfect, because it's not. There's a lot of things that behind the screen that you don't see. It says, I don't want anyone to ever think I'm like goals and stuff. I get that comment sometimes and I just like, you know, I know it comes from a good place and stuff. It's just like, I feel bad because it's like, I'm not goals, and nobody in this world should be your goals. Your goal should always be to just be a better you know? I'm gonna be, just warning, I'm gonna be really corny throughout this the Q&A. Normally I'm not so cheesy, but I'm gonna be extra cheesy, okay? It's only superficial if you make it superficial. There's definitely a lot of bad parts about social media. You know what? It's not even like people who post. I would say it's just up to you guys to know not everything you see is really the way it is. Okay, she asked another question, what is it like being a young mama? Honestly, I feel like a lot of people told me I would have a lot of energy because I'm young, but I don't feel like I have any energy. I'm tired all the time. I went to a doctor and everything before you guys say. I did have low iron, that's fixed down and everything. It's just, I'm just tired. I'm just tired all the time. I don't sleep very well. Danishta asks, could you tell us about, there was hair on my phone. Could you tell us a bit about your spiritual life? Do you consider yourself a religious person? So I stay away from the religion topic because I feel like religion is a very, very personal thing. I feel like your relationship with God is just that, your relationship with God, you know? There are a lot of things I do believe, like I do believe in, you know, karma, and I believe in things happening for a reason. Like, things happen, but eventually you'll see the reason for it. And I've witnessed that so much in my own life. Like, something will happen where I feel like I've lost a chance at something or an opportunity, and it's like devastating, but then sometime later I realize, oh wow, that was actually a blessing in disguise. And I feel like a lot of bad things in life are just blessings in disguise. Sheza, I'm sorry, like, you know, sometimes usernames and stuff have like a lot of extra letters and things like this. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but I believe it's Sheza Ahmed. If you could give your younger self an advice, what would you say? I would just say to be patient. Everything's gonna be fine. I spent a lot of my younger days thinking like, this is life, like I can't do this anymore. Life is just never gonna get good. Everything sucks and stuff like that. And you know, things did definitely suck. I didn't have an easy life, but things always got better. Then it got worse, but then it always got better. You know, that's just how life is. Nothing is permanent, I feel. Pain isn't permanent. You do your own makeup at your wedding. No, I didn't, and the person, I mean, I think I did look cute, but someone said I did answer that I didn't like it because of the foundation. It was off. I did put too much. Yeah, I mean, the pictures and stuff look good, but I was so cakey, you guys. Like, I was so cakey. It was not good. I'm gonna do a recreation of my wedding day makeup, but the way I would have wanted it. Like, if I had my wedding now, I would definitely do my own makeup. So I'm gonna do a video on that. Stay tuned. How do you manage a kid and work all at the same time? It's just about having a schedule. By the way, Ahan is so cute. Okay, so a lot of people think his name is Ahan, A-H-A-A-N. It's actually Arhan, A-R-H-A-A-N. But it's a very common mistake. I get it. When you say it really fast, it sounds like Ahan. But there's an R in there, Arhan. But thank you. So it's about maintaining a schedule and prioritizing, really. For me, my son comes first. Everything, like, he has to be okay, and then I can do other stuff. You know, like, right now he's in school, so like, it's good. Like, now I can focus on just work and doing stuff. I'm getting like a lot of stuff done right now. I've tried to like balance both things where I'm like trying to like cook and then like feed him, but then like trying to edit a little bit here and there, and it just does not work. Chaiti Dar, I'm sorry. If you were offered with the opportunity, would you accept a Bollywood role in today's Bollywood scene? By the way, thank you for repping us Bengalis and Desi girls. Oh, so sweet. I would. It would just have to be the right role. Something like really empowering, something like a role that's very much about like female empowerment. It has to be something really unique, you know? So yeah, I would definitely, if it was a unique role. How did your parents feel about starting this career and being in the spotlight? Okay, so I got a lot of questions about like, how do your parents feel about this? How does your husband feel about this? My parents are like weird. They don't really pay attention to a lot of this stuff. My mom, well, my dad is completely like oblivious. So like, as long as my son is taken care of, like my dad does not care what I do, honestly. He like, it was only a couple months ago where he was just like, oh, you're actually like doing something online with makeup and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is it like real like work? Are you really doing work, or just like passing the time and not taking care of our? And I'm like, no, it's like work. And he's like, okay, that's cool then. If that's fun. So that was his like approval, stamp of approval, I guess. My mom, like one day she's like super happy. She's like sharing all my stuff on Facebook and telling all her friends. Like I hear her talking on the phone, oh, you know, she's gonna be in the stores, yeah, in the drugstore. She's a Covergirl. And like she's on a, like she's in Vogue and this and that. Like she'll brag about me. But then to me, like when I told her, when I showed her my Covergirl coupon, she was like, wow, she was like shocked. And then a couple minutes later, she's like, okay, you did this. Okay, are you done now? Is it over? But I don't know what she expects me to do, like get a regular 9-to-5 job. Then I wouldn't be able to take care of Autumn the way I am right now. It's like, what do you want from me? And my husband is very, very supportive. He's really supportive. What are your short and long-term goals? Short term, I'm just trying to get to like 100K. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had like this thing with Instagram. It's been going on for like 6-7 months now, where my hashtags stopped working. I was banned from using it for no reason. I did nothing wrong. It's just my hashtags don't work. And that was how I was getting noticed and featured, and I was growing very steadily and like, you know, going up. And I just stopped growing because yeah, I just wasn't being discovered. Like nobody was finding me. Only recently, like the past 5 days, I've been going like up and up because of my skits, and I'm so excited about that, you know, because last time I had this kind of growth where I was like, my videos were getting shared a lot and I was getting a lot of followers in like a day. Last time it happened, it was because of like a stupid beauty hack video that I did, and it's just dumb. It's like probably the one video I'm like least proud of. I deleted it eventually, but like it was shared everywhere and I was really mad, like this is how I'm gaining followers because of this nonsense. So I promised myself never to do anything like that if I don't feel like 100% on something, like never to do it again. But this is my skits, like this is something I love so much, acting and comedy and stuff, and it's being shared everywhere and it makes me so happy. Like this is how I'm growing, like that's my short-term goal. I know it might seem like really like stupid, but honestly, if you were me, like, and you, before my Instagram thing stopped, I really wasn't not even caring. I was just like, ah, I'm going steady, it's fine, I'm not gonna like pay attention to numbers so much. And I didn't, I was just like, I'm fine, I'm working hard, I'm putting out content, and I'm getting like, you know, recognized and stuff for that content. It's like it happened because of something I had no control over, and it's really, really frustrating. So I'm really happy that I'm still a hashtag banned, but at least I've figured out a way around it. Just get on the explore page somehow. And long-term goals, find stability in this whole social media thing. It's not really stable, and I want to find a way to make it stable. I also want to somehow get like really into acting, like serious acting, and have my family be like nice and settled, you know? Have like 2 more kids. Are you gonna do a meetup in New York City? I don't know, it depends on like who organizes it. I can't even wrap my head around how I would get around organizing it. Last time I did a meetup was like 2 years ago, I believe, and that was with a company, so they organized everything and I just showed up. So that was easier. If anyone wants to do a meetup with me, let me know. I would love to meet you guys. How do you battle daily symptoms of depression? Any advice? So I have like a kind of a routine, like certain things I do, and it took me years to figure out these ways to like keep my anxiety at bay. One of the things I do, if I do any sort of task that doesn't involve like that much attention to it, I have something in the background, Netflix on in the background. So like right now I'm watching Gilmore Girls, and I usually rotate between like 3-4 shows: The Office, New Girl, Gilmore Girls, and Friends. So I rotate between those because I watched all of those episodes already, so I don't need to pay attention to it. I just have it in the background. When I'm doing dishes, I need to do that. When I'm cleaning, vacuuming, putting my makeup on, I need to have something in the background, because otherwise moments like those, like quiet moments, that's when my head, like brain goes into like really bad directions and I have like really bad thoughts, and that's what causes my anxiety. Once I get anxious or depressed, there's really nothing I can do to fix it. So it's really about preventing. It's not really about like fixing when it happens. I just try my best to prevent it from happening at all. But it's not something that you have a complete control over, but little things in the day definitely help. Keep yourself busy. Find something that you really like to do, a hobby or something. And if you start to feel like anxious or sad or something, call someone up like immediately. Call someone that you really trust and who understands that you just like need to talk to. Like I know, like if I were to call like one of my sisters in the middle of the night because I was like having like an anxiety attack or I was just feeling really, really sad, like they wouldn't be angry at me, you know. So call someone who you can trust like that. How many times have you been to Bangladesh? Twice. What's your favorite foundation and concealer? So I don't have all-time favorite. Currently, it's actually the Bare Minerals. That's what I'm wearing right now. It's the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. My shade is Sable. And yeah, that's my favorite right now. Concealer, I really don't have. I actually have been reaching for this one a lot. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Medium Tawny, I believe, yeah. Really good moisturizer for dry skin. I use a couple of different ones. I use the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. And I use the Belif Aqua Bomb. And then I also use the Nivea Soft sometimes. It like all depends. Like a lot of times before in the morning I'll use this, and then like before I do my makeup I'll put this on. And then at night I switch between the Belif Aqua Bomb, and sometimes I will use the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair and the Anti-Aging Cell Power Cream. So these together, honestly, this is probably like my favorite combination. This stuff is magic. First of all, it smells amazing. It smells like my childhood. It smells like my mom. Like, I feel like she had something like this when she was like, you know, before when we were like at our old house and stuff. So it reminds me of like our old house and our old neighborhood and stuff. But it feels so incredibly hydrating. I cannot tell you. Like it's just a little bit, and it's just like, I feel like my skin feels like rose petals or something. It's soft and just, and then I wake up and my skin looks amazing. So I definitely recommend these two. And everything else that I mentioned. What's one makeup product you absolutely cannot live without? Lip balm. I know it's boring, but like I cannot stand dry lips more than anything. And mascara probably. Can you please tell us the story about how you met your husband? Okay, so I have a whole video on that in the first Q&A I did, and I go into like depth, so I'm gonna like just link that below. I don't want to like repeat things. Shakira asks, what is your dream job? My dream job is what I'm doing now, but like on a larger scale, and then throw some acting in there. I cannot choose one thing. I am someone who loves multiple things. I actually was talking about this on Snapchat the other day, how I always, my whole life, I've loved so many different things that I've always moved from one passion to another, and I've always like, I would learn something, I would love it, I would be obsessed with it, and then I would move on. Like I would kind of get bored, but I still want to do it, but then I would kind of get like bored of pursuing it, and I would move on to the next thing. And then someone recommended a TED Talk called something multi-potentialite. That's what I believe I am. So I am a multi-potentialite. That means I love a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I just don't have one passion. I'm gonna list that TED Talk below, because if you're like me, it really is gonna help. I believe it really helped me, and I hope the talk helps you. It made me feel like just more secure in like who I am, and not, like for a long time I thought I had a problem, like something was wrong up there. There's a lot of stuff wrong up here, but that's not wrong. It's just like how I am. When are you gonna come to BD? Okay, I would if I wasn't so scared of the plane. I feel like I can maybe do like a short flight, but that 18-20 hour flight, oh my god, it gives me so much anxiety just thinking about it. And with Arhan, because I would definitely bring Arhan along. I don't know, hopefully I get over the fear and sometime soon, because I really want to. Ooh, my face is feeling hot. What do you use to keep your hair curly? So I don't do anything to it. My hair used to be much curlier. It got like wavy-ish because I straighten it all the time. So now I'm trying to make it like, I'm trying to work on finding ways to get it healthy again. It falls out a lot. It's just really not healthy. I don't know why people ask me for hair care advice. My hair is really bad. Like I can't, do you guys see it? It's like 4 pieces of hair right there. Cindy Rameter asks, do you want any more kids? Yes and no. Yes, because I've always wanted like 4 kids at least, but then that was before I had Arhan. Like, while Arhan is like the best thing ever, when I had him, I went through postpartum depression for a couple months after, and it was like the worst time of my life. And because of my background and like just having depression, anxiety, the chances that I'll have it again with my next child is kind of high. I feel like I missed out on so many moments of my son's life when he was a baby. For like the first year of his life, I pretty much missed out on because I was so sad. And not that it matters, but like he wasn't like an overly fussy baby or anything like that. He didn't give me too much trouble. I was just so sad. And I missed all these moments, and I recorded all of them. I remember like recording all of them on my laptop, and I go back on those old videos and I think like, oh, so cute and so fun, and I laugh at those moments, but I remember not laughing as much then and not enjoying those moments as much. And I tell myself with the next one, I'm really gonna be there and I'm gonna, you know, make sure to cherish every single moment. But the thing is, I have no control over that. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I could just as well develop postpartum depression again, and it could be even worse. I can't imagine it being worse, but it could even be worse. And I don't know if I'm ready to take that risk yet, because I feel like I've finally gotten everything in control right now, and like I'm happy. I don't want to mess that up, but then I do want more kids. It's a really complicated situation. It's not easy for me. And when people are like, oh, just have another baby already, when are you gonna have another child, they don't understand how hard it is. Like, people think it's so easy, but it's not. Like, there's a lot that goes behind that decision, you know? They see me rolling. Oh, I just snorted. It's a funny username. They see me rolling, they hating. Speak something in Bangla. Amanam Sharifa. Glamour Runa. How do you stay so good? I don't know, girl. It just happens. You know, so many questions about, like, what does your family think about YouTube and stuff like that. It's so funny how we're programmed basically as like girls to always consider our family's feelings and their approval in things. You really don't need it. I feel like all the aunties and uncles are gonna kill me right now. don't show this to your parents. If you are happy and you believe in yourself, it really doesn't matter. I mean, what am I gonna stop because my parents say don't do it? Like, why should I stop if it's something that helps me, I feel good about, I'm good at, I feel happy when I'm doing it, and it doesn't take away from anything. It's not like I'm a bad mom because I do YouTube or something like that. Like, why should I stop? Sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. I always say this, at the end of the day, it's gonna be your regrets, nobody else's. So if you don't do something because of someone else, you're gonna regret that. They're not gonna regret it. They're gonna move on with their life, you know? Even your parents won't feel the magnitude of your regret. It's just funny because I get that question all the time, not just in this Q&A, all the time. Like, is your family supportive? Is your husband supportive? And things like that. And it's like, you shouldn't need anybody else's approval to live your life. And I feel like we're just programmed that way, especially women. Like, who asks men that? You know, hey, does your wife support you? Does your family support what you're doing? Nobody ever asks that. I'm not saying anything bad about the questions. Like, I totally get why they're asking the question. Isn't it kind of sad that we have to ask ourselves that? Like, oh, but are they gonna approve? Do you have dry, combination, normal, or at least I have dry skin? Rupa 4. Hey Sharif, I have the Wet n Wild contouring duo and I use the banana powder every day, but I only use the contouring side. Do you have any recommendations for a banana powder in a compact? This one right here, it's not as pigmented or yellow. No, actually it's as pigmented, it's just not as yellow as the Wet n Wild one, but it's still really good. Naveed asks, what are some good Bangladeshi restaurants in New York City from Chicago? So I just prefer home cooking, but I don't know if you want to go as far as to the Bronx, but in Parkchester in the Bronx there's a place called Nirob that's really good. In Queens, Shagar. In Brooklyn, Abdullah on Church Avenue is really good. I don't really go eat Bangladeshi food from outside. I prefer home cooking. From my mom, not from me. Michaela, I believe it's Michaela. Anna, where do you look for inspiration? What's one of the things you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? Thank you. For inspiration for like makeup looks, I'm assuming Pinterest is a really good source for me. There's so much inspiration on there. What's one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? So many things. Be in a film. That's what I haven't done and I want to do it so badly. How do you find foundations in your right shade? Is there any trick to use? I feel like it's a lot of trial and error. When I was first starting out, even on here on YouTube, I was totally using the wrong foundation. Sometimes you have to like do trial and error, but also if you have at least one foundation that you know you're a match, you can look at a site called foundation.com and then you can find the shades of all other companies on that website. It's a really helpful tool. I always recommend it. Also, you have to make sure you're matching your neck. So maybe put the foundation on your neck, blend it, and see if it blends out. That way it's gonna match your neck. Piece of advice would you want to give young Desi women? Be fearless. Don't let what society says, what people say, don't let any of that stuff hold you back. Be fearless. That's why I've asked favorite under eye concealer for those dark circles. Okay, so I don't have dark circles. I know so many people ask about this, but it's hard to recommend something when you don't struggle with it yourself. However, I know these work really well on people. So I've seen, so these are the Becca color correctors. So you shouldn't be looking for a concealer. You should be first correcting if you have really dark circles. Correct first and then conceal. So this is Becca Peach and Papaya. It depends on your skin tone. If you are deeper with really dark circles, you would want to use Papaya. But if you're me, Peach would be pretty good. What eyeliner do you recommend for me to learn to do a wing eyeliner with? Wet n Wild Mega Liner. This is really good. Also, something that has like a stiff point would work really well. Something like Japanese. This is a felt tip, the Kumadori felt tip. So it's not like the blackest one. It's good. It's not my favorite. But this felt tip is just awesome. Like, it's really easy to work with if you're, you know, a beginner. My black wings. First of all, I'm so excited that a Bangladeshi woman as yourself can represent our community. Hey. It's important to have Bangladeshi influences for little girls when I know I didn't have one growing up. Me neither, girl. What does it feel like seeing your face on the Covergirl ads? I mean, it feels amazing. Incredible. The tip for getting noticed in the beauty industry. So I'm going to talk about that in the next segment. But it feels surreal, incredible. Every time someone sends me a picture, in like Texas, Virginia, Chicago, I believe, like in a bunch of other places, I name states and I name cities, whatever. So in some other places, they have these giant ads, posters of me, like these displays in the stores, and I wish they had that in New York City so I could go and see it. I haven't seen it one myself yet, and every time I'm just like, how? It's insane. Have you ever wanted to start your own business? No. Yes, you're saying this too adorable, thank you, but no, I've never wanted to start my own business. I feel like it's just not my thing. Alia Shafi asks, what brings you the most happiness? When my son is happy, honestly, it's like the obvious answer, but as a mom, that's nothing else. I could just sit and stare at him just being happy all the time. Sometimes I do, it's really creepy probably. He's watching TV and he's just like laughing at something and his laugh is just so cute and I'll just like stare at him like, and it's really creepy. Sometimes you notice it and he's like, Amu, stop looking at me. How much do you miss single life? And is yours arranged or love marriage? So I have a whole video on my marriage. I'll have the Q&A listed below. I didn't really have much of, I got married when I was 18, so I don't even remember what it's like not to be married. I've just always had someone there, so I don't know. Sometimes when he annoys the crap out of me, yeah, I miss single life. When I see the wet towel on the bed, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind being single then. Anika T, how do you cope with the hate you might sometimes face from various avenues? I don't get a lot of hate, probably because nobody really cares about me. But when I do get it, I ignore it. I used to try to reason with people, or I would try to like say something back. Mistake. It's just not worth it because it's like the other person is just, there's just someone sad behind those comments. I'm laughing, it's not funny. It's like really sad actually, and I just feel bad for people. Sometimes people leave like really nasty comments. I just feel really bad for them. It's like, my God, how bad must your life be for you to like try so hard to make someone else feel bad because you're that miserable. I feel really bad for them. What's a funny childhood memory you have? Oh my God, there's like so many that I cannot remember. One time, I was on the slide. I was like 2nd or 3rd grade. So I went down the slide and some like gross dirty kid put like peanut butter or something sticky on the slide and I didn't see, so I went down and my skirt got stuck on it. I was wearing a skirt and then I went down, but then my skirt went up and then all the boys just laughed at me and my frilly underwear. So that was funny. So those are all the non-YouTube stuff questions. So now I'm going to go back and answer all the YouTube questions. If you just wanted to watch the first half, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my Instagram. I have a lot more skits now, and I'm going to be posting skits like once a week now. I'm really excited. So if you want to follow, please go on my Instagram. And if you are a aspiring YouTuber or current YouTuber or Instagrammer or whatever, and you want to know how to get better or anything, keep on watching the rest of this. I don't know why I did that.